Good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy Saturday morning. So as all of you have been starting out your day this Saturday morning, I want to tell you I'm not broadcasting news or anything like that, but I wanted to get on here and talk to you guys about my thoughts about inflation and how bad it's gotten. Everybody knows the prices of gas are going up. We have to pay $40, $50 a gallon, and it's going up. It don't matter where you living right now. Everybody knows that the prices of gas and food have gone up. The prices of food, I couldn't believe it. I didn't barely buy anything, and my prices of food went up to about over $100 more in groceries. And I'm like, I barely bought anything. So when we're talking about inflation, and then we're talking about how we're spending our money, and a lot of American people, we have already gone into debt. We are in credit card debt. Everybody knows. Everybody's been in credit card debt. Everybody's been in some kind of situation in their lives that they don't feel so comfortable with their finances. And now we people are talking about businesses because things are not, you know, things are not consistent as they used to be, especially because of the pandemic before. And, the pandemic has gotten a lot better, in my opinion, than what it was before it even began years before. I mean, we're in 2022. In 2020, I believe that the pandemic was horrible. But when we're talking about the amount of how things have things have changed, and businesses are now booming, more than ever. So we're talking about the economy, and people have spoken about the economy and stated how they felt about the economy. And, honestly, how I feel about the economy has not gotten any better since the time that President Joe Biden was in office. And I say that specifically just because Joe Biden, when I see him as being in office, he has said he was getting rid of student loan debt. He said, "Oh, I'm going to clear off student loan debt. Tax prices have gone up. Like I said, things have gone up shortly, and the amount of money that people are making nowadays is not much. And so when you're talking about having a ratio of your account where your income is slowly coming in, and the amount of food and farm I heard my friend say farmers are not getting paid for what they're needing to get paid for, then how in the world are we able to live? See, that's the whole thing. And I heard on the news about food shortages and all this kind of stuff. But it's tough to see and hear what you have to go through every day. So I decided I was going to make this YouTube content because I want to be able to share a little bit about myself and what I do, and what I plan on doing with my finances, so that people can understand that I'm a real life person. I'm a person who believes in sharing, what I have learned, so that people know what I've been through, so you can really work on what you can. And I mean that authentically. Work on the things that you can, so that you're able to accomplish the goals that you want to. Sometimes when we see in our eyes what we want, but we're not able to accomplish what we want yet, we get upset, we get frustrated, we get all kinds of different emotions. But over the past years of decades, I see a lot of people who have gotten frustrated because they're not where they want to be, in their finances, and in their role of where they are living. And they want to be able to live in a better household. They want to be able to get better credit. They want to be able to live. My friend was talking about my econ, but like, my econ was a good business because they were talking about credit scores. But the compensation plan was about, it was only, you would only get paid $20 a comp for business. To me, I want a good compensation plan where it's at least $100, $200, so that you're able to get the amount of money to live comfortably. And a lot of times when people think about businesses and people think about where they have been, they're not they feel like they know what their goal is, but they're not quite there where they need to be in their finances because of how much they have to invest in, or the things that they have to learn, because a lot of people don't want to stay stuck on a job and have to worry about where they're going to get paid and things like that. So that's why it's so important to be aware of what you're doing and how you're getting your money, and the kinds of things that you can do to really cut back on your expenses. Because I think the biggest thing that I always hate is going into a grocery store and realizing that, hey, I don't have a ton of money that I can purchase things that I want to purchase things on, because the amount of money of inflation that has gone up, and it's all over the news, and people are wondering, like, how am I going to be able to do this? Do I have to borrow money to do this? Do I have to do this just to get by? So nobody likes living paycheck to paycheck. But the problem is there's so many more people in the world that are living paycheck to paycheck, and they want to be able to live that financial life, and they want to know, how do you do it? Because not everything online is a legitimate. Some things online are scams. You got to be really careful nowadays, because there's a bunch of hackers, scammers. There's a bunch of scammers on Facebook nowadays, and it's crazy, because that part everybody already knows, that you got to be careful as to what you do with your money and how you spend it, and the kinds of things. I really do believe trading is a very good business, because it's very lucrative. You can actually do trading. You don't have to really talk to many people to trade. That's one of the biggest things that I really did like about trading, is that you don't have to talk to anybody in order to building up your momentum, and that's great. That's really, really good. That's one thing I was wondering about paparazzi when I was doing my business. I was like, I have to talk to and sell at least 100 pieces of jewelry just to get $20 of commission. So that's not something I want to do. I want to be able to have to grow more. And being a customer, there's nothing wrong with being a customer when you're trying to sell a product. I mean, when you're trying to, get used to a business, so that you can test it out to see if that business is really for you. And then, like I said, don't buy into things unless you know for sure that's really what you want to do. But yeah, anyways, this is my first video. I'm gonna go ahead and do my second video as promised, so that I can keep on doing consistent videos for you guys, so that you guys can keep on listening to my YouTube channel. I hope you guys like, subscribe, and feel free to inbox me if you have any questions.